Hi everyone, this is meowmurai. Let's check out Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics running on PC. This game is also available for the PlayStation 4 and Switch. Not the Xbox, although I guess they're working on that. Alright, this game, strangely enough, starts off in 640 by 480 for its resolution, so a little blocky looking when it first starts. We will leave all of this stuff high, I think. I think that's all fine as well. Leave the microphone off. And we will say you'll have to have a 3 or 4 connection. We'll be super stingy. Yeah, we're turning VSync on and we'll leave it in full screen mode. Alright, so let's see what's in this gallery. Oh, we got a lot of stuff. Do we need to unlock stuff? Oh, seems like it. Oh, maybe not. I guess everything has a different set of items. Alright, that's cool. Of course, we can have a be able to listen to music, the new music that's created just for the collection, along with music for all the games in the collection. Alright, so I guess we'll just kind of start from the top. We'll play the English versions. I know there might be some advantages to doing the Japanese versions, but I think folks, at least on this channel, are more interested in the English versions. It's probably the versions that you grew up with. This is probably my favorite game out of this collection. It's horribly imbalanced. There's a small selection of characters, but I tend to have the most fun with this one. Alright, let's take a look. We have display settings as well. We will leave it with no filter. Looks like the default is to have scan lines, which don't look convincing, quite frankly. Especially, I mean, I actually have a CRT, Panasonic CRT, and yeah, these scan lines don't look like that. But, whatever. Right, nice chunky sprites. The default is in 4:3. That's exactly what I like. Although we could maybe turn off the background. Yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, I mean, it runs exactly how I imagined it would run. Of course, we won't spend like too much time doing all this stuff. You know, there's a lot of games in this collection, unfortunately. But we just at least want to see the quality of the conversion and the responsiveness. And I didn't attach my fighting stick to this, so this is a little awkward playing a game with a gamepad, but it's okay. That's right. Jesus Christ! Yeah, to the folks that are used to like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, this is going to seem like a very simple and much slower game. And you know, it was the first game in the series, so that's just kind of to be expected. But I think this is the one that I played the most of all of these games. Well, I mean, I played a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast. Well, I said, as far as the arcade is concerned, this is probably the one I played the most. Not that I remember thinking about it, and being able to play this game has been rather difficult over the years, since it hasn't been reissued very much. I don't remember Omega Red being this difficult. Yeah, like I said, that's certainly how I remember the game. The animation's totally on point. The speed is totally on point. The responsiveness is about right. I don't really detect a lot of lag, but I'm not an expert on the lag per se. But as far as I can tell, it plays exactly how I remember it. Alright, Marvel Superheroes. Again, didn't really play a lot of this in the arcade. I don't remember it being that popular where I was. But I think it certainly had its audience. Yeah, now we get some slightly different characters. And we get the ability to do turbo. Obviously, there's some recycling of characters and frames from the previous game, but again, that's okay. You know, they were really pumping these games out for a while in the arcade. You know, that was the primary business back then. I forget this is all about power gems. Yeah, and again, personally, I like the chunkiness of the way it looks without the filter. I guess we can look at the other filters. I think that's the typical softening filter. Oh, whoops, wow, that's fine. Yeah, this is kind of CRT quality without having the scan lines. A little bit more representative of what you would have seen, you know, at the right distance from the monitor. Also, scan lines are too thick in all the emulated scan lines. On the, you know, people weren't having their faces pressed 100% on the screen. Yeah, your face was a few feet away from the screen when you were playing these games. Yeah, really great animation, especially for the time. You know, I mean, if you look at the, you know, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or Street Fighter Champion Edition, you know, they had good animation, but nowhere near as many frames as the Marvel series. And of course, that would change as Capcom made more games. They just start upping the level of frames that their games had. But, you know, the Marvel series is where it kind of started, at least for Capcom.
Let's rock! Stars and stripes! Stars and stripes! Gamma chop! Stars and stripes! Charging star! Gamma chops! Let's rock! Stars and stripes. Stars and stripes. Final jump. Stars and stripes. Shield slash. Gamma chop. Gamma chops. Gamma chop. Stars and stripes. Stars and stripes. Gamma chops.
Yeah, maybe with the filter number 1, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks good, or at least close to what you would have seen in, you know, standing in the arcade. You know, no filter might be too chunky for some folks. I think it's fine though, but yeah, like I said, this is kind of more representative of what it would look like on filter 1. Looks like each game has its own filter setting too. There's no universal filter.
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Yeah, interesting choice that they would not have a universal. There we get some of that alpha style artwork. Different set of characters. Oh, that's right, I forgot it was I forgot this was a tag team game. Yeah, I don't know how well Cammy works in this style of game. You know, but there are people that play her and like her, so you know, is what it is.
Cajun strike. Cajun strike. Kinetic card. Cajun strike. Kinetic card. Cajun strike. Royal. See you, bullshit. Shoryuken. Shoryuken. Up the glass. Up the glass. Shinryuken. Gene, right. Shoryuken. 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 Up the glass. Gene, right. Up the glass. Shoryuken. Shoryuken. Up the glass. Shoryuken. Gene, right. Shoryuken. Gene, right. Kinetic card. Kinetic card. Up the glass. Agent strike. Up the glass. Infini.
What is it people like? I can't remember. Yeah, I didn't play a whole ton of this game. I think I was kind of into more Mortal Kombat at this point in time, and Virtua Fighter, if I'm remembering correctly.
Cajun strike. Kinetic card. Cajun strike. Kinetic card. Kinetic card. Kinetic card. Kinetic card. Kinetic card. Kinetic card. See ya. Shoryuken. Shoryuken. Hatsumat Senpu Jaku. Hadouken. Shoryuken. Hatsumat Senpu Jaku. Hatsumat Shoryuken.
I forget what the tag button is.
Game over.
All right. Yeah, again, it's a really how I remember these games. And I know folks were concerned about the quality of the emulation, but the emulation's really, really good. I don't know if it's quite perfect, but I think it's really, really close. I'm certainly not the person to ask about the whether or not it's a millisecond per millisecond conversion. Probably not, but again, it might be very hard to perceive the differences. It's kind of interesting to see the evolutions of the games as they as they kept making them. You know, see how much they recycled and see how much the new stuff is in there. All the different systems. Like I said, I don't think I played this one that much. I don't think I bought this on my Saturn. Or maybe I did and I wasn't happy with it. Would have been around this time period. I think the Saturn had like a bunch of really good SNK ports, so I think I'm spending a lot of time playing those. Not so much this one, strangely enough. Oh, oops. It's interesting to see wide bison again. Yeah. Although for Street Fighter 6 they kind of gave them the same look. Yeah, it's nice to play these games without a whole lot of compromise. You know, the old Saturn and PlayStation 1 versions of these were heavily compromised unless you bought the Saturn expansion card. I don't remember if this one was ever reissued. It might have been reissued on the 360 for a limited amount of time. I don't think I ever saw it on the PlayStation 2. My memory's super fuzzy about this. I know, it's so interesting that Capcom originally made this as a joke character, but then eventually they had to make Dan okay. So he got like progressively better as the more games he appeared in. Oh, they kept the flashing on the continue screen. That's interesting, because a lot of the flashing has been removed from the game. Which may be a little awkward to folks who've been playing the arcade version for a while. Or emulations of the arcade version. But that's all for the better. I mean, these games didn't need to flash that much.
Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes.
Capcom presents Marvel vs. Capcom.
Starting to get a little crazier with the character selection now.
Morgan, Wolverine, Karaka,
What was the default?
ready, fight! First attack. Morgan,
また
win.
遊んであげるわ
Storm. Ready. Fight. First attack.
Oh, damn it. Didn't mean to do that. So it feels super awkward playing with a controller. A regular Xbox controller. So used to using my my all button controller. But I didn't want to break it out just for this game. Maybe we'll do that later. We'll play these games online on a different session. I tell you, using one of those all button controllers, it really does spoil you. Sort of like when you, how some people feel about using an arcade stick. Although I don't think most people feel, you know, that super attached to an arcade stick in this day and age. Yeah, I mean, they've preserved these games really well. Not that I should be surprised. I mean, the last Capcom arcade collection, fighting game collection was also really good, ran really well, and those had Darkstalkers, which is, you know, more my flavor. This is a big one. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I think this is probably the one that a lot of people buy this game for. And if you were console gaming back in this time, then you probably played a lot of the Dreamcast version, which is a bit different than the arcade, or I would slightly different. And I guess this is sort of like a mix between those, you know, the arcade version and the Dreamcast version. Again, I'll leave it to the more heavy fighting game experts. People that really invest their time in these games to make some claims about that. Good, the scrolling's nice and smooth. That's always the trouble with all the previous versions of this game. With this part, you would see some breakup or some frames dropped. Of course, there's a monstrous list of characters to choose from. And everybody's going to have their favorites, of course. Yeah, just a very slight bit of blurriness in this version, but that's because of the filter. You know, if you didn't turn on any of the filters, you'd get the more chunky sprites. You know, the more chunky presentation. And again, I think this looks perfect. You know, this is the way it should look. I think it's interesting. We're gonna get another fighting game collection early next year, I think. I don't know if they announced that game was coming out this year, but yeah, we'll finally get to play a sequel to Star Gladiator, at least. maybe not the original, but I can see a lot of reasons why they decided not to do that. So yeah, exciting times for folks that have been fans of Capcom fighting games, or at least the older ones. You know, they finally have a chance to play them again, and on systems that they own, right? I think most people certainly own the PlayStation 4, or can play something that plays the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. There's some good choices. Again, I think they announced that they were going to work on the Xbox version, so unfortunately the Xbox folks will have to wait a little bit longer to get their version, but it is coming. Wrong button. Oh, hey Cham. Yeah, it's going good. We're just gonna briefly look at these games. I'm not gonna like delve super deep into them. So a couple minutes on each game just to see how the conversion is. I'm certainly no expert on playing these games. You know, I played them and liked them, but yeah, definitely not an expert on these. More of an SNK guy. But I still like them. Yeah, and overall, I'd say the conversions are the emulation's really good. Again, I don't really detect a whole lot of lag. I know some people are super sensitive to that. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty slight though. I think most people that have played these games before, you know, they can adjust pretty easily. I mean, if you think about the previous editions of this game that were emulated, you know, if you're looking at like the PlayStation 3 version, I think, you know, that was certainly worse, right? And here it's nice to have all the modern options too. You know, we didn't get quite as many filter options in the previous versions. You know, the ability to turn on the hidden characters right away and stuff. So, I think overall it's nicer to have this collection. I mean, I think this is the same emulation code from the Fighting Collection 1. So the same emulation from the Darkstalkers series of games. And again, I think that's pretty good. Adding the online play, I mean, this is all kind of stuff that they didn't really have to do, but they did do it. Oh, really? Is rank broken? That doesn't surprise me. It is day one, you know. I think we ran into the same problem with the original fighting game collection. I'm sure they'll figure it out, though. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's been over a decade since I played these games. Sometimes 2 decades, depending on what the game is. So, you know, I barely remember anything from them. I just remember of all the games, you know, MVC2 was the one that you could just like, it was like super masher friendly, you know, so anybody could play it. And it had, you know, kind of questionable 3D backgrounds, but here I think they look good, you know.
Time over. You lose. I just can't believe it. You're amazing. You lose. Don't you want a rematch?
Yeah, it is kind of a shame that it's not the Dreamcast version, but you know, there must be some problem with getting Dreamcast emulation to work across all the systems. I mean, they had to get it to work across a bunch of different platforms, so I can understand maybe, you know, if the Switch was having a little bit of a problem with the Dreamcast version, I could see why they wouldn't do that. Although there have been a lot of good Dreamcast to Switch conversions.
Capcom presents.
Right. That's right. The clock is right. Alright, last one we're going to look at. We're going to look at the original Punisher. I know a lot of people didn't get a chance to play this game. It wasn't super popular. And I think the only home version there was for the Genesis, if I remember right. Personally, I love this game. It is kind of a weird inclusion to have. But at the same time, you know, it was part of their partnership with Marvel, so this is the kind of thing that sort of kicked it all off. It's also kind of funny to think that it was so controversial for being so violent, even from Marvel standpoint when Capcom showed them the game. It's just like, have you read your own comics? I mean, this is like a Saturday morning cartoon compared to the comics. Yeah, this run's really good. Again, I was a little worried about this one. Because they really haven't had a good home version. Like a lot of times the color would be off, like the color would be too dark in the previous emulation. And certainly, like the Genesis version was not, was not anywhere near as fun as the arcade version. Yeah, I don't know if they're ever going to get AVP. I mean, AVP is Alien and Predator are both under different studios, I think, because Fox is Disney and Alien is, I think, Warner. Might be tough. You never know, though. Maybe they could do it at some point in time. I mean, Alien's finally popular again. I guess a ton of people liked Romulus. Yeah, this is really good. Strangely enough, I'm kind of excited to play this game again. And of course, I want to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 more. I mean, I want to play more of that game as well. But it's been ages since I played this game. and it's not a cabinet that really has survived the test of time. You know, a lot of these boards were pretty damaged over time. Yeah, I mean, SNK has done Samurai Showdown collections before, so I don't see why they wouldn't do it again. I think I still have the Samurai Showdown collection on my Wii. And granted, you know, that's not the best collection, right? I mean, it doesn't really run the best, but it was kind of nice to have it. And I think SNK is finally getting popular. Probably even more popular than they were in their heyday. You know, King of the Fighters turned out really good. Samurai Showdown turned out really good. And it looks like City of the Wolves is going to be a good time as well. You know, Capcom's in a good place, right? Street Fighter's been pretty successful for them, I believe. You know, still not able to do Mortal Kombat numbers, but you know. It's okay. You know, nobody can do those numbers. Besides maybe Smash Brothers, right? Maybe Tekken? I think Tekken's over 10 million. I think Tekken's over 10 million. Or at least it crossed the 2 million mark pretty early on. Alright, I'm getting lost in this game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to more SNK stuff. Like I said, I'm more of an SNK guy. It's not that I don't like. It's not that I don't like the Capcom games, but I just I tend to gravitate more towards Fatal Fury or King of the Fighters. And maybe someday another Art of Fighting. You know, I'd absolutely love that. But as far as this collection is concerned, I think it's really good. I think it's about the best that you can get without just playing playing an emulated version. And even the emulation that's been out so far, if you go through MAME or Fightcade, it's still kind of a little iffy. Whether you think this is good or bad or not, they've also patched some of the exploits of MVC2 and Marvel Superheroes. So there are some bugs which have existed for a long time, which they've gotten rid of. Again, if you're a purist, maybe you don't like that. But you know, some of those freeze and corner traps and characters disappearing off the screen were never meant to be, and so it's nice that they finally had an opportunity to go back and address them. Yeah, I mean, I'll be playing more of this as time goes on. I think I'll go through a run of the Punisher, and we'll play some ranked matches when they get kind of the servers together and get the issues fixed of MVC2. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, they could have charged full price for this too. I mean, this comes in at $50, and you know the standard price nowadays is $70. So thank goodness Capcom spared us on that. And certainly, I would suggest that folks pick up physical copies of this as well, because you never know when they're going to yank these away from us again. Right now, Disney's in the sharing mood, but you know, they can change their mind pretty quickly. So yeah, definitely check it out. Again, I have the PC. This is the PC version. My understanding is that the Switch and the PlayStation 4 version are exactly the same. You know, with the Switch version being limited to 1080p, and you know, the PC version, you know, you can go up to 4K for the scaling, but obviously the base resolution's still going to be 640 by 480. Yeah, I'm happy with it. So we will play more later on, and hopefully you folks out there are playing as well. I'll finally hook up my all-button controller and play a little bit more seriously next time we're on for these games. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you at the next stream. There's a ton of games that came out today. I don't even know if I can cover them all. So yeah, I'll see you at the next stream, and yeah, thanks for stopping by.